Leave Billified a voicemail anytime on the Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram line at 585-206-8866.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking, hey, by the way, Happy New Year, the whole thing, you know. It's been a while. Well, you've been down on the stroll there a while. Don't worry about it. It's cool. The holidays. But, yeah, fuck, 24 is going to be good, man. 24 is going to be fucking good. I lost my train of thought now. Fuck. Oh, the stalker. That's right, the stalker. I wasn't disappointed it wasn't me. But you know, hey, it's flattering. I'm just saying. We got cashews this year for Christmas because the kid visited. Fucking A, cashews. When was the last time you had them on Christmas?
And be sure to like and subscribe to Billified wherever you get your podcasts.
The one thing he asked you not to do, and you come right out of the box with a hat trick.
I said right away, Jeffrey Rogers is in the studio, and I said, Jeffrey, sometimes curse words do happen on here. Yeah. It's okay. We couldn't do it on the radio, but you can do it here. It's not government controlled. And I asked, because he said, can I go live on GSL News? And I said, you can, but sometimes curse words come out.
Yeah.
And you said to me, well, sometimes I have kids.
I didn't start the live yet when that
all right.
On,
see,
so
we're good. We're good. Jeffrey Rogers, look at him. Sharp, handsome kid. Welcome. Right there, all dressed.
I got a brand new tie on just for the show.
Look at that. All right, I like it. I like it. I like it. So why don't we start here, and then, well, let's start here. We had talked, I get for people who may not have listened to last night's episode. I woke up yesterday morning and accidentally, not even on purpose, at 6:11, my alarm was set to go off at like 6:30, 6:20. I pick up the phone and I hit, and Twitter opens up, X, and the first thing that pops up is this really detailed tweet with a picture of the SWAT team in the hotel in Greece over this whole accident that happened outside the Kodak Center on New Year's Eve. And I thought to myself, well, this is who is this? Who's doing this? And it says GSL News. I go, GSL News? And I'm thinking, is it global something news? And I think you and I may have crossed paths, or I've heard about you from people being, a young kid. I think you were on the Brother Wee show at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had heard about you. So then I see this, and then I find out who it is. I reach out, and then I talk to you, and I was really impressed with your in-depth coverage. I really, really was. I put it up on my story today, a little piece of you with us and on the phone. Then I did see today where you did put out a tweet, and you said that you were a little disappointed in other reporters, and I will explain why. The New York Post, at least online, had a headline that said, cops recover suicide note after deranged man drove car packed with explosives into crowd at Rochester concert, killing 2.
Yeah.
Which actually, just the headline alone, and I can't say that it's wrong, and I know some things about journalism, and do you know Gary Craig from the Democrat Chronicle?
I do.
Yeah. So Gary and I did a one-on-one, and Gary said that a lot of times he goes back to his editors and says, look, you got to change that headline, because you can't use that. It's for clickbait. And so this one even said, this does not sound like, because it was gas cans. They are explosives. That is absolutely true. But I'm thinking the guy comes in with dynamite. You know what I mean? Everything's triggered up
like Wile E. Coyote.
You got all these reporters who weren't even on scene, just making up a lot of things. And I was like,
so let me read what they
said. Acme.
Let me read what they wrote. Okay. I just pulled an excerpt from their article. Investigators are reviewing the journal for any clues into the attack and have interviewed family members who said they believe the suspect had bipolar disorder, though he was never officially diagnosed according to sources. The relatives say Avery, that's the 35-year-old man from Syracuse who was responsible for this, had never expressed any negative beliefs, and that they are unaware of any reason he would want to cause harm to others, sources said. Authorities are planning to conduct a search of a storage unit belonging to him in North Syracuse as well. And then it just kind of goes on from there. You wrote that there was no journal.
There was nothing found, and I definitely felt pressure by the New York Times because they got a lot of information for me. But that was one thing I didn't say.
Whoa.
So
time.
I was on the phone with them for several several phone calls.
How did you get in touch with how did the New York Times find you, or you find the Times?
They found me, and they called me. I think after I think it was after ABC News had contacted me, and they said, okay, we this might be a credible source. They came out with this information stating that they kept pressuring me, like, are you sure it wasn't finding any notes or anything like that? Because I felt like they had screwed up, which kind of made me look bad because you guys are getting this information from me.
Were they crediting you on ABC News?
ABC News did credit me.
They did. How did the credit come across?
So they credit me with the video with GSO News Jeffrey Rogers, because I told him directly, you cannot use my information.
Do we have his title on there too?
I do.
Oh, thank you.
I said, you're not using my information.
Not my first day.
I know.
So I'm like, you're not using my information. You're not using any of my videos. I want it like this. I want it like this. And I also want to check. So I negotiated a little bit with the pricing there.
So they paid you?
They did pay me.
Oh, man.
They did pay me. I mean, it wasn't a lot, but it's something.
Don't ever tell what that number is.
I can't tell.
It
could have been. It should have been more.
Don't
but,
tell nobody.
The New York Times still hasn't paid me, which they've been playing around right now. They've been playing around. I don't know. Their payment department is they've been playing around.
They've been playing around.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
We know a couple guys with vowels at the end of their names.
It doesn't.
Send them down there.
It doesn't sound good, but yeah, New York Times and most of all the major news outlets. I was on the phone with them basically for hours.
Have you not? I shouldn't say normally, but in the past, has any, let's say, national news service, and I would even say the New York Times, be globally?
Yeah, so I had a contract with CNN and Fox News during the protest. And when that 2020 and 2021, I had a contract with them during the Black Lives Matter protest after George Floyd. So I was working with them very closely, and I was also working with Vice TV to get some footage for them as well. So, and more global countries from Australia, also radio stations out there were contacting me and asking me, can they use this and can they have me on their shows and stuff like that.
Did you do any of that? And I'll ask you this in all honesty. Did you do any of it for free?
So I did a lot of work for free, but here's
why I would say, I think that at some point, like if you really want a job, no matter what the job is, and you believe in yourself and there's a place you want to work, you offer a trial where they don't pay you, but you prove, because you got the confidence in you, that you're going to get paid. Now, the other part of that is you never want to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, I think.
And the problem is, you look like a baby. You look friendly. You got a nice smile, and you look like a kid. They go, it's a kid.
Right.
A kid.
So I think a lot of journalists here and reporters here in Rochester are starting to realize who I am. And I had to realize my worth too. Once that protesting was happening, I was getting away a lot of footage. But it was a photographer from New York City who was here, and she was like, what are you giving away all this stuff for? Or what are you out here even filming for? You're out here working harder than me, and you're giving away all this stuff. And she was telling me the ins and out of how can I get checks.
That's awesome.
And I was like, CNN had reached out to me, and they were like, well, can you use this? And she was like, remember what I told you? So I was like, I want this for such and such price. You're not getting this. Leave me alone.
Did she give you any pricing guidelines? Because if you've never
did
done
give
it
me
before,
pricing
guidelines. Good.
And she said she could charge, and that's the reputation she had. She could charge $2,000 for a 3-minute video.
Yeah.
And
sure,
I was like,
especially if it's going to be exclusive to somebody.
Exactly.
And believe me, you know what $2,000 is to ABC News?
Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
Do you still have contact with her?
Yeah, so I definitely, me and her actually reached out. She actually reached out to me the other day, and she's like, what's going on in Rochester? Is things getting hyped up? I might come down here. And I was like, it's not, too crazy down here. Nothing's really major happening.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just trying to water down this case, but there's a lot of things I could say.
What do you mean?
It's definitely watered down. I mean,
watered down in terms of what? You think it was more serious? You think that the idea? So, just in your opinion, being at the news conferences, hearing the conversations that you've heard, talk to people maybe privately, without revealing any sources, you think that this is some deranged guy? This was a planned thing.
So this was definitely, I feel like, in my opinion, planned. He could have had definitely mental illness, but when you spend days and hours waiting for the right moment to come out, that takes a lot of time and patience. Not only that, but if new footage was released from the owners of one of the buildings.
Right. Now another reporter who I'm friendly with had tweeted that out and said they were waiting for verification from the police to say that it was Archer. Was that his name, Archer? Am I getting it right?
Michael Avery.
Excuse me, Avery. But it was the same footage that you had that I saw last night. But some people were waiting to get confirmation. Did you get confirmation that it was him, or did you just?
That was him in the vehicle?
Yeah.
From the footage, from the camera footage to confirm it was that him.
Yeah.
Well, I think
because they were waiting for the police to say it. I think everybody gets a little nervous now to necessarily jump on things and then possibly be wrong.
I want to talk about that is when you, just like the false rumors about the notepads and journals being found. I think when you know your work and you know what to do, and your fan base believes in you, but not only believe in when you are credible. You know and learn how to not make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I do my own private investigations. I'll make sure everything's authentified and accurate. That was the same vehicle, same description, same everything. And you also have to match up the timelines. But not only that, but I match up my own timelines. When did I arrive on scene? When did this happen? What time was I in the area?
Yeah.
But not only that, but you look at other people's footages from other businesses, ring cameras, traffic cameras. And you look at, this is all public information. I have a huge fan base. People in the neighborhood was like, you can get my ring footage, just leave me anonymous.
Yeah.
So just doing those type of private investigations and doing this, and that's how I found out so much about the search warrants of the FBI. I had a huge fan base, and people said this hotel was surrounded by SWAT teams and Rochester police officers. I'm going there. I'm going there immediately. Let's find out what should we know?
Yeah. What is it that I have so many questions for you.
I got answers.
How do you handle criticism?
Don't.
Somebody wrote a nasty critique.
I don't.
Why?
I'm still learning. And I think it's because I take it a little more harshly is because I've been dealing with it since I was 14, so 13, 14. That's
when I say criticism, like there was one today where somebody was picking on your grammar in a tweet. Did you see that?
Yeah, the grammar police. They need to. I wonder how much it costs to be a grammar police officer.
All right, okay. but sometimes that makes people think less, like you're less educated or you're less something.
Yeah, so I think it's not my grammar is not horrible, but it's just because I'm speedy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So when I'm just trying to put out something so fast, I don't really. I'm not gonna lie. I don't look over a lot of stuff.
Let me ask you this: sometimes everybody has a different way they speak. Mm-hmm. I'll speak to Kevin one way, and I would speak to a woman possibly a different way, and I may talk to my mom a different way, and I have 3 sons. I may talk to them differently. Do you sometimes write the way you speak?
So, and my family always tell me, why do you always talk like a reporter? Why do you talk so like you're in a setting? I think I talk like this all day, every day. And
Mom is preparing tacos tonight.
Yeah, it's just,
and she burned the beef at 5:11.
Video at 6.
It's just I don't know. It just kind of stuck with me. There's not like a family talk and a family tone. This is me. This is me.
Yeah. Now this tweet was meant to be mean.
Am I?
Most tweets are meant to be mean.
No. This was like I felt was a nastier thing.
They're always, but I think I get.
Well, no, I'll spell it out. I think that this was picking on the fact that you're black.
I can't pull the race card. I'm not
saying you're pulling the race card. I'm pulling the race card. Yeah. I think this person wrote and you said something in a way that may be more of an urban dialect, and they took it as, I ain't listening to this guy. And I thought,
Pittsford has spoken.
Well, how shitty. I forgive my language, but I thought that's shitty because this kid has hustled. He's in the middle of everything doing it, and he's a one-man band. I got to tell you, kid, I find you really impressive. Excuse me, Jeffrey, not kid. I find you really impressive. I just do. And I know that there's been some other controversy with you because people wrote it on under the video. Why?
I think.
Why do you think that is?
And I
when
do,
you say every day, all day,
every day, all day.
I'm talking about one particular incident from your past that someone mentioned. 2 people mentioned on my on comments. Two different people. Now it's just 2 people, but that's in people's heads, and I go, well, seems a little unfair to me, but I have a reason.
It is. It's the life. It is unfair. So when I was 17, nearly 5 years ago now at this point, I was 17 years old, and it was August. I'd never been in trouble before, never been in trouble with law enforcement, never had any major issues in school. I was always bullied in school. So one day.
Why were you bullied?
Because I wanted to do this. I wanted to do the YouTube, the news reporter thing since I was like in 5th grade.
Okay.
So one day, me and my little brother, which he didn't even know what was going on. He's 12 years old at the time. I'm 17. So he goes ahead. He follows me. I take him to the city's station where they have like plow trucks and police cars there. And I just seen this vehicle with keys in it. And I took off. But I was doing that for a week straight. Now, many people don't even know. And I just started coming out about this year. Well, last year going into this year, I was doing that for a week straight. So I was actually taking the vehicle.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Time out. You were a pioneer for the Kia Boys?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm teasing.
Allegedly.
I'm teasing you.
Absolutely
I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. Well, I was just saying, 5 years ago, you were a pioneer stealing. So what do you mean? They left the keys in the car?
So, yeah. So they left the keys in the vehicle.
Who are they?
The city. The city did. And
so you would just jump in and take a little ride?
Yeah. So I was taking a vehicle for like a week straight, like different types of
Put gas in it for them.
Undercover police vehicles, and just city vehicles, and I was actually driving them to the crime scene. So I would park the car around the corner, walk around the corner, take pictures of the crime scene.
Hold on. You were using their vehicles, showing up at their crime scenes to do reporting?
Yeah, so I was doing that.
They should hire you. I don't.
I was doing that for a week straight before I was called. I want everybody to know that this wasn't like an impulsive thing. Once I got away with it the first time.
Yeah, well, of course.
I was like,
you're a 17-year-old.
I know how to drive, but now I can get to the scenes faster.
Yeah.
So I thought.
And by the way, how nice are those police cars? They look like kind of nothing, but they've got better.
The undercover
everything.
ones was fast.
Yeah,
I think one time
traction, they're better rack and pinion. I'm telling you, the tighter steering columns. I've driven them. Remember they had Mustangs for a while, the Monroe County Sheriffs.
Yeah,
I might have been in one or two of those.
Listen,
see how fast
and then what it was
was way before Baxter, please. It was
back seat, not Baxter.
Oh, they said Baxter.
What it was I think because I had so many ride-alongs, I had so much access at this age.
Yeah,
I kind of knew my ins and outs of the city places.
Apparently not. You get busted. So
this is how I got caught. So I'm putting gas. So I used to get allowance. So
putting gas in the car.
Listen.
I did my research.
So I'm at the gas station on Portland and Clifford Avenue, and I'm so glad I have the platform to clear this up because people won't believe me. I'm at the gas station, and I try to put $10 in. $10 was a lot 4 years ago. That kind of got you somewhere.
Well, you're 17,
right?
Okay.
So I filled up the car a little bit, and this is before I got slushies. I came from Taco Bell and Speedway. So we got slushies and Taco Bell.
Did you leave any stains on the front seat? Hot sauce stain or anything?
I don't know.
Big old cheese.
But it was delicious. I'm not going to figure the meal. It was a good meal. It was delicious. Slushies, too. It's summertime, too, as well. So got some slushies. Went to get some gas at the Portland and Clifford Avenue gas station, which was a horrible decision. This guy walks up to the vehicle and literally goes, "Aren't you that newsboy that be around the neighborhood riding on the bike? What are you doing in this type of car? Are you even old enough?" He starts reaching what appears to be a gun. Looks like a gun to me in his waistband because I know what guns look like.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, is that a gun? So I'm not thinking. I called 911 and says, this guy points a gun at me, but I've never described what vehicle I'm in, etc. But I did not know that there was a 911 call already out for the vehicle I was driving. So I seen the kids who used to bully me in the neighborhood, and I kind of chased them off their bikes. So somebody seen that and called 911.
All right, hang on. This is a fantastic story. So,
yeah, it was a lot happened that night.
I need to clear this. There's a lot to unpack here. Give me just a second. So, Jeffrey, you take this car. You've got your younger brother with you.
Yes.
You're his hero. He thinks the world of you.
Right now, yeah.
Now we're in this car. How cool is this? You take him, you get food, you get slushies. and then you see the bullies? Or did you see the bullies before you got the food and the slushies?
No, I seen them like as we're driving down Upper Falls on our way to the gas station.
Oh, so you already had the food, the slushies. You're feeling good. Your belly's full.
Real full.
And now you see the bullies.
Got a little sugar rush going on and everything.
And now you start thinking, you mofos.
Gotcha.
You're
not going to punch me in the face this time.
This looks like an unmarked car. They think that it's the police.
Possibly. No, this was an undercover Honda.
Oh.
So it was an undercover Honda.
So when you pull up, you're literally chasing them on their bikes?
So they're right.
Do they know it's you behind the wheel?
I don't think they know it was me. So what it was they decided to be, menace to society and wanted to ride their bikes in the middle of the road. So now I'm blowing my horn, but I'm like, I noticed them. I'm like, is that Deshaun? That's that one that punched me in the face yesterday?
Yesterday.
So I get bullied. I was getting bullied a lot in the neighborhood, like nearly every day. And when I seen him, I'm like, is that okay? Okay, I got him now. Yeah. So I finally got him, revved the engine up, start blowing my horn, and they was like, oh no, this guy's trying to hit us. So they finally jumped off their bikes, and I didn't know somebody noticed that because this was like 1 a.m., 12 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And somebody, there was all...
you woke somebody up.
Probably did.
Falls Boulevard isn't that by Coca-Cola? And Yeah.
So the officer seen the vehicle, the description of the vehicle, but they didn't know it was me. So now this vehicle's surrounded because now when I called 911 for the guy having a gun, they thought I had the gun. So everybody at the gas station who wasn't trying to snitch and say that guy actually had a gun, they lied on me and said I pointed a gun, I had a gun, and I'm like, whoa.
So the guy who came up and said you're the boy who does the reporting, right? The riding around the bike. Did he have a gun or was it his cell phone?
No, he had a gun.
He did.
I seen him had a gun.
He did have a gun.
And I wish the news stations and police would do further investigation.
But they can't prove that. You see what I'm saying?
That's why I wish they would do the camera footage of the gas station.
But even there, I can't really tell because if it's in the belt, just because it could be.
I seen it with me and my little brother. We both seen it, and we was like, we got to get out of here. So that's when we kind of stayed low. And when I heard there was a call out. So I had the little scanner app on my phone. There was a description of the vehicle. So I was like, dang. Now they're looking for us. So now we can't leave the area because now this area is swarming with cops. So I go on this side street where...
So you were driving, you got back behind the wheel.
Yeah, so I went down the side street and I guess the camera room, the cameras, one of the dispatch seen me and they were like, we see this vehicle turning on this side street. Our PD comes behind me and next thing you know, I'm surrounded by 20 cop cars saying, put your hands out. I hear police dog and it's man.
Now, let me ask you something. You're a 17-year-old young guy. You got your 12-year-old brother. Did you cry?
I didn't cry. He was terrified.
Yeah.
He was terrified, but I was kind of like, I'm in shock, but
yeah.
I don't know.
So then what happened?
Pee a little?
So what happened? Yeah, no,
I think he did.
If I hear the police dog, I might pee a little. So now they take you down, and what happens?
Well, I was arrested. I sat in Monroe County Jail for about a couple of hours.
Who had to come and get you?
My parents had to come and get me because I was 17.
Yeah.
So they came and got me, and that's when
over?
every news station in the city was waiting outside with their cameras. That was the most embarrassing. I went through depression for a couple of weeks dealing with that. I thought I wanted to kill myself because I thought it was all over.
Yeah.
And then
What prevented you from doing that?
Going to school.
Going to school where they bullied you.
So this was when that kind of made me popular in school.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the whole world flipped in there, didn't it?
So that flipped. Yeah. Because I was like the nerdy kid in school.
Now you got
cred.
I went to school. People were talking about it, but it was when I was like fourth period. I went in the cafeteria, and I'm swarmed by kids. Oh my God, Jeffrey! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah. Like, how did you feel? Like, and then it just all went from there, and that's how it became more popular in high school. From that. And then I was always doing announcements, but then I started doing the news network in the school and became a more popular and more kids wanted to watch me on this news network. It was like, okay, now he's something.
Yeah. So
doing something bad in high school.
So one bad thing, one off moment was good for you on the inside and bad for you on the outside.
Yeah, it was bad for me at first.
Yeah. Well, I would say I think people remember that.
They're never gonna forget, and even,
well, they should.
And the people who don't even know about it, the people who hasn't forgot make sure that they know about it.
Yeah.
That becomes the issue.
Okay, so wow, that's a challenge, isn't it?
It's a challenge that's never going to end.
Yeah. What now? Mom and dad come and get you. What happens when you go home?
They couldn't talk to me. It was quiet.
Yeah.
It definitely was quiet.
Now, isn't that worse than being yelled at?
It way worse.
Yes!
I'm like, why am I not getting dragged around?
Yeah.
Why am I not? It was quiet.
Why is there no boot in my
It was
ass
like
right now?
my mom was so disappointed and shocked. I think she was more shocked than disappointed. She was like, it took probably like some days for her to process.
Was she mad because it was not just you, but you had dragged your brother along with?
I think once they had more comfort that he was safe and okay, but it was me because I had just like a year or two before that, I had just got this big news story where I was on these TV shows and getting all this praise for being the youngest journalist, and then to have this fall, that was a downfall.
Yeah, right.
It was like,
right.
What the hell are you doing?
Okay. Do you think your dad was secretly pleased in some way? Like I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, if my kid did that, I would be like, I would never want it. Right?
No,
but then I secretly go to myself, hey, kid's got balls.
Well, my parents. So none of my parents, even my stepdad, my biological dad, my mom, none of them got criminal records. They'd never been in trouble before, so they're not from the street era.
Yeah.
So they were like,
but see, this isn't.
So that's where a lot of people.
Well, I'll tell you what I think is the biggest thing.
That's where I see some comments too saying, "Well, this is how he was raised and this is the type of environment."
See, okay, and that
kind of made me mad.
You know what that is? You want to know what that is? That's the subtle racism that people talk about.
Definitely racism at that point.
Well, I can't say that it's out.
It's a bad statistic.
It's a bad statistic. I wouldn't call it out and out racism, because racism would be, it's a black guy, don't let him in this door, right? All right, we're not excluding him, but we're going to paint with a broad brush. Young 17-year-old young black male was doing good, now steals a car, must be the environment he's in.
And it was
Where
not the
I got to
environment.
tell you, I was a 17-year-old white male in a very rural area. Listen to me. Very rural, where I grew up. And I did all kinds of dumb shit. I had the cops come to my house because they knew I knew everybody that was at a party where a window got broken, and they wanted to talk to me.
Right.
Now, if I were a black kid, do you think I would have gotten the same?
Put your hands behind your back. You want to?
I don't know. And that's always my argument with people who say things like they don't white privilege. They hate hearing the term white privilege because I work hard. I don't get any breaks. I'm a white guy. That's not white privilege. What white privilege to me is that if I stole a car at 17 and did a little joyriding.
I don't think no news station. The judge also. The judge makes me mad too.
Who was the judge?
Judge. I don't know what I want to say. It's
don't,
public anyway. Judge Miller, actually.
Okay, I don't
Judge
know
Miller. He allowed cameras in the courtroom at 17 years old.
Okay,
so my attorney pressed to please get the cameras out of there.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Maybe in a way the judge is thinking shame goes a long way.
I don't know that, but that was.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if we shame him, maybe he'll never do this again. Clearly, you never have.
So
right? Have you? No.
It gets deeper.
Oh,
it gets deeper.
Wait. Let's take a moment.
Everybody, I got released from jail in November.
This past November?
Yes.
Jesus.
So it goes deeper.
All right.
So after that,
well, let's take a break and let's find out deeper when we come back.
This
is interesting.
Yes.
You're a very interesting character. But
it gets deeper.
I'll tell you this: I dig the hustle, and I thought out of all the news stations, you did the most effective job. And the problem is, more and more, one, nobody's got the gumption. There isn't the fire in the belly to go do it, right? And then the other side is, people who are going to be making a paycheck at this, those companies are scaling down in cities like this size.
They are, and
so there's just less manpower to have somebody out there. But when you're young and you're hungry, you'll run through walls.
I don't care what's going on.
Yeah. Keep yourself out of jail. We'll find out why you were there, though.
Yeah.
We'll get to that next. But first, I'll insert it when I go back.